Scott Douglas began his love for the desert while growing up in the back of a Jeep in the early 1970s. At an early age, he learned the love and excitement of off-roading and the importance of taking care of the roads and trails of the Bureau of Land Management. Scott began his off-road racing career on motorcycles at the Riverside International Raceway in the mid-1970s. Scott and his family began to spectate in numerous off-road races. His passion accelerated from 2 wheels to 4 in 1980 when he and his brother Steve bought a used Class 8 race truck, and they entered the infamous Baja 500. They finished an amazing 5th in class. The Douglas brothers then hired Ted Kendall to build a new F-150 Class 8 truck. Mickey Thompson invited them to race in the first MTEG race in Pomona. Scott qualified second with Ted Nugent in the passenger seat. Scott had his first truck win in the factory-contested 7S class at the Fireworks 250 in Barstow. This kicked off a slew of wins and championships in the 7S class. Highlights include 2 Baja 1000s, 2 SCORE HDRA championships, 2 Mini Medal championships, and becoming the SCORE Riverside World Champion.
Congratulations on being inducted into the Off-Road Hall of Fame. You're proof that integrity, dedication, and hard work do pay off. I saw you race many times, but I didn't have a full appreciation for how good you really were until I had a chance to work with you. Your ability to push the vehicle to the limit, give feedback to the team on to make improvements for the next round are second to none. Thank you for allowing me to be a small part of your career. I'm glad to see you getting the recognition you genuinely deserve.
In 1990, Douglas was hired by Walker Evans Racing to drive a Jeep Cherokee and officially became a professional driver. The team dominated, including the Class 6 Championship, Mini Medal, and Short Course Desert Challenge. Evans then moved Douglas to a Class 7 Dakota, where he competed against the likes of Roger Mears and Parnelli Jones. He won the championship and competed in select MTEG Series events in Grand National Truck class. Douglas then moved to Herzog Racing in a Ford Ranger built by Ted Kendall, again winning the class. That same year at the San Felipe 250, he took first overall in the Ford Ranger. Scott is the first and only driver to win an overall in a Class 7.
I want to congratulate my buddy Scott Douglas into the Off-Road Hall of Fame. You know, he's just a genuine guy, always smiling, always ready to tell a story. Very well deserved, and congratulations.
In 1994, Douglas challenged himself by driving for 2 teams, Herzog in the SODA Short Course Series, and a Desert Trophy truck for Evans. He finished second in points in his first short course year, losing by 1 point to his desert boss, Walker. During the mid-90s, Douglas drove for Rampage Racing and won the Class 4 SODA Championship. After that, he became the owner and driver of Douglas Motorsports. Douglas hired Russ Warnemont to design a new truck, and Scott won the Class 4 Championship as well as his first Borg-Warner Cup. He opened a fab shop that designed, built, and produced lift kits for Rancho Suspension. His company designed an axle spacer for lifted trucks and later received a patent. Scott also did R&D and engineering work for Yamaha and Club Car, designing lift kits and prototyping vehicles. Ford hired Scott to race an Explorer, and he ruled 3100 class, becoming the 2004 champion. Scott raced both Pro 2 and Pro 4, winning his second Borg-Warner Cup in 2006, and was the first driver to podium 5 times in one weekend. A few years later, he won the 2010 inaugural AMSOIL Cup.
Scott, I want to let you know how deserving I feel you are of this award. You have been a mentor and a friend, and you have helped me in my career through being my spotter in short course, through offering advice and how to navigate the world of professional racing, and also opening your shop over the summers to myself and my boys. So I want to say, congratulations, you deserve this.
Scott was honored to promote the enthusiasm of off-road racing internationally when he was invited to a 14-day Middle East Off-Road Champions Tour for Armed Forces Entertainment in 2011. His group built and set up remote control Traxxas off-road tracks each night and organized team races with the troops and officers at 14 different undisclosed locations throughout Iraq and Afghanistan. Scott quickly learned that what the soldiers really wanted was someone from back home to talk to. So he spent many nights listening to stories of their families. Scott stated, "This trip was and always will be the highlight of my career."
Congratulations, Scott, for being inducted into the Off-Road Hall of Fame. I've always admired your passion and talent for off-road racing. Thanks for trusting me to be your co-pilot in the Desert Series and your spotter in the Short Course Series. All of us here at HAL Performance are so proud of you and what you have achieved. Thanks for letting us go along for the ride.
Over the years, Scott has always given back to the racing community by helping others, which resulted in successes for many new drivers. As the years went on, Scott continued to race Pro 4 successfully. He competed in all 3 Red Bull Frozen Rush events in Maine and leased trucks to Bryce Menzies, Brian Deegan, and Ricky Johnson for the event. He leased trucks to Brendan Gong, and RJ Anderson got his Pro 4 start by driving one of Douglas's trucks. In 2019, Scott raced his last race at Crandon, posting fastest lap.
Congratulations to you, Scott Douglas. I can't think of anyone more deserving to be inducted into the Off-Road Motorsports Hall of Fame. You've been a tremendous partner for AMSOIL for more than 17 years, helping us test our products in your trucks and acting as an ambassador on our behalf. Your professionalism, commitment to the sport, and numerous championships have made you an off-road legend. I am so happy for you to receive this honor. Congratulations, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
AMSOIL maintains support for Douglas as a brand ambassador, while he continues to do various events and trade shows. He still enjoys jeeping, coaching, and mentoring drivers. Scott's 98-year-old mother is still his #1 fan.